let me change it. So that's f-stop 22. I'm still getting some depth of field effect. You see how nicely in focus things are, okay, by doing this. I wouldn't do such a long exposure in here, but it is a still life scene, so in a way it doesn't matter. I wish I had some more light focus. So I'd probably, do something more. So that's 1/10 of a second. Can you see what I'm doing in changing the shutter speed? So normally on the camera, I would just change it here. So watch this. I think if I come in here to the camera, it should allow me to change it from the camera. See? You see I'm changing the shutter speed there? I'm using that top dial, so 1/20th, 1/125, so that's the different shutter speeds, okay? I'm going to keep it slow because the camera's on a tripod, that's fine. And if I want to change my aperture, I'm using the back dial on the camera, which, bring that down a bit. Now this is probably going to be overexposed, but I'll take a quick picture and see what happens. And the surprise is too dark. That's okay. I quite like, look at the nice depth of field I'm getting with that. So if I want a little bit more in focus, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to, say, 6.3 and just see how that affects the exposure. All right. And I'm just using Lightroom on my thing. I'm on my tablet. There you go. Oh, still underexposed. Wait a minute. Oh, it's because I closed the aperture more. So really what I need to do, I'm going to make use of my ISO. I'm going to crank up my ISO. I'm just going to change the ISO. So why, anybody like to tell me why I'm going to stop sharing for just a minute here. So why am I changing the ISO? Any guesses? So just by changing the ISO, I'm using the camera sensors, I'm increasing its sensitivity. And that's what I'm saying. I'm a little bit, oh, look at that. So it's brighter. Yeah. So these things, shutter, aperture, and ISO all work together for getting your exposure right. So let's make a little bit more sense to everybody. So I'm trying to do the live demo here. So, all right, yes. Good. So, a good question, answer. I'll shut up for a minute. So, you can actually, I wish, to be honest, actually seeing what I'm doing here, it actually doesn't look too bad on the photos, but it's, it is a temporary little mini studio setup with my ring light and natural light coming in. But that, look at how, that's pretty clear. So this is, by the way, this is a really nice prime lens. And why are prime lenses better than the zoom lenses? Anybody?
Sir, can
Pardon?
I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Zoom lenses are very good. There's no two ways about it. But a prime lens gives you a slightly better image. So I'm going to do aperture, shutter. I'm going to keep my ISO what it is. I'm going to change my shutter speed. Let's do something crazy. Let's see what happens now. So I should get, because I've lowered my aperture, right? That's opened it up more. So I'm going to get I bet it's, my guess is it's overexposed. Oh, no, it's underexposed. Ooh, look. So what I'm going to do, I'll just bring my shutter speed. It's too dark. I want to keep my aperture where it is. So let's try 80 and see what we get. There we go.
Wait, maybe 60 will work too.
Probably. Here we go. I'm waiting to see it. Better? Yeah, I think 60 would have been better.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's go 60. I'll live dangerously and go more. Now look at the extreme depth of field on that. The only thing that's in focus is that little bit of part of the chest piece that's extreme. So that's f2.8. So that means the aperture is very open. So it's letting more light in. My shutter speed is at 60. Now, I can muck about with this, but actually I'm pretty happy with this photo, to be honest with you. I could then go into the develop module and tweak it even more. So I'm shooting in RAW. What happens is it loads up the stuff right away. And I think, now I could really I think I understand under my lighting conditions what I want. So what I could do is I could just come here. So that's a 2.8. So that's sort of the first photo that I actually like, sort of. So how many photos did I have to take to get there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now listen, if I was doing this for a client, I would be, I probably would use a light meter. But I don't know. This is just how I'm a very intuitive individual. Oh, dealing with this lag is terrible. Give me a second. Let me stop sharing so you don't have to suffer through my slow clicking. Here we go. Okay, give me a second. So I took loads of experimental photos. I've got the range that I want. I'm happy with 800 ISO. I can do just about anything I want at this point. So I've got my 2 latest photos. And I think what I want to do is just sort of step up and do different depths of field. So again, what I probably could do is I could say, let's go to a mid-range. Let's go to 10 and see what that does. So what I'm going to have to do is have a much, I'm going to go down there to 5. Just see what happens. So remember, I want to control depth of field now. Not bad. Look at that. So the little bit more is in focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to a high. Oh, sorry. Thank you. And it's my best work. So frustrating. I'm being greedy now with my work. I don't want to share anything anymore. There you go. There you go. So that was at an aperture of 10. There you go. And compare that to this one. Look at the difference in the depth of field. I mean, you can see the depth of field widening. So if I now go up to, say, can you see my screen now? I'm going to go up to 20.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to bring the shutter. Well, I'm on a tripod. Let's try it. See what happens. There it goes. So this should give me less depth of field. And I'm set up here for a little bit of still life. Now you can see that these two are in nice focus. The prism here is in focus. You're getting some nice distortion. There's still depth of field here. So, even if I go higher. So it's not perfect. So I'm going to say that's slightly overexposed. Let me do one more.
Yeah.
One more photo. Because I can now take. Pardon? Go ahead.
0.6.
I'll be quiet. Don't stop zooming.
How about 0.6?
There we go. Okay, do one more. It's going blurry for me too. It's probably just reloading the next image. Wait a second. You can do it. Come on, zoom out there. It's not bad. What I would do if I was really want to do this, I would take my ring light and really bring it down to get some more backlighting. I'm getting some nice specularity, some shiny bits. I think those are probably coming from the window. I'm getting a little bit of backlight off my ring light. If I had the room here, I'd lower my ring light, put it behind here, and really try to shine it a bit more through this prism. I just don't have room to do that, though. It almost looks like I have... Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that the prism looks less blurry.
So you can see by changing my aperture, I'm expanding the depth of field. So let's go back to when I started getting happy with this. I mean, look at that. That's probably too much depth of field.
Yeah, it looks like since one thing is only a focus, like the
night.
I don't know what is it called. Is this elephant? Oh, the night. Okay. So it's very focused on, and the others are very blurry. So it looks like, I don't know, maybe unreal or I don't know where to describe it.
This one, I'm getting the depth of field effect, but it's a bit more. It's pulling your attention to the night here. But the things, it's not too, the other things aren't too out of focus. There is, I do like extreme depth of field, what can I say? But then there's still, this is out of focus. So you can see how finicky depth of field can be. So even between that and that, look at that.
Yeah.
Actually.
But if the knight was focused and the king or the queen was focused too, like both of them, it would look like more professional, like.
Yeah, so I could change my focus point. Again, I'm focused on this knight right about there. So that's the main thing. Yeah. I could change my focus to more here, and then the depth, these two would fall in. I do like a little bit of perspective. I should have gotten more pieces out, set up my board, but
even the white knights will get focused a bit, like a little.
Yeah, so I'll do one more. Here we go. So I'm going to go aperture. I'll go 25, and I'll go. What do you think?
I think maybe
let's give it a try.
Or
because I need some chess pieces over here, or I need to just crop it or something. It's taking. It's transferring the image. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there we go. So that's pretty good. Oh, let's go all the way here. I will have to do a longer exposure, but I'm going to 32. I'm going all the way. What should I do for my shutter speed? I'm going to go 2.5. What do you think? Okay, see what happens.
Fair enough. I think it's going to be like extra brighter.
Not with having closed the aperture as much. Could be extra bright.
Like more brighter.
It is slightly, but not by much. Ooh. Very
told you.
You're so smart. So I'm going to go... Oh, not to 10. I didn't tell you to go to 10. Come on.
You just changed
I'm just changing the shutter, and I'm suffering quite a bit of lag. So what was I on just then?
You were on 2.5.
Should I go 1.6 or 2?
Well, I think 1.6 will look more better. And maybe for your lagging, I think you need more RAMs for your laptop.
Well, this is my hastily put together thing, but I need another. I need another light at home, or I need to get in the studio. But at least, it's too dark now. Oh.
Yeah, it's more faded.
But you can still see the effect of it. So I will try 2. That's 2 seconds shutter opening, so that I can shoot basically with the aperture closed. Okay. I'm having. And I wish I'd have leveled out the camera better. There you go. I would now at this point take it into and just make adjustments in. So I could actually come in here.
How about contrast in it?
I don't mind. I don't use contrast that often.
No, not much. It's just like to make the dark night and the green to make it like more darker. So then the whites and the two whites.
Bring the blacks down. Ooh, too much.
Yeah. No, not too much. Like
the dehazing is quite good too. So.
Yeah, I think like in this way, the dark color will pop up more than the white one.
Oh, dehaze. Dehaze sort of does it. I mean, I just reset this stuff.
How about using also saturation?
Well, vibrance is quite good. Saturation will overcook your colors. I'm doing it extremely. Whereas vibrance.
Yeah, you can like the saturation. You can like make it less.
I love taking saturation down. You're speaking my language now. I'll just make it black and white.
I know.
Let's do that now. Let me go in and where's the presets? Here we go. Black and white high contrast. Needs to be darker.
Yeah, and when the two dark ones are more darker, it looks more realistic.
That's nice. I'm quite happy with that image now. It needs cropping. I might crop it. I might not. I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to crop it?
Yeah, crop it.
Let's recompose this and get rid of it. That's not negative space. That's dead space. Like, I'm going to cut it right there, and I'm going to pop this up a bit so you don't see the edge. Oh, I want to see a little bit of the edge. There we go.
I think like if you don't mind, you have to like expand the right.
I don't know. Let me go back a step. Here we go. Yeah, a little bit of the right side is good. Maybe get it to this one. I do very drastic cuts and then the side of it. I'm gonna cut down the middle of this one. Oh, too much. So it's sort of a natural diagonal.
Yeah, now it's good.
Now I needed something here, but not another chest. But still, you can see